Fishing Doctor's Adventures. Today we are going to be out sockeye fishing, and I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do in order to catch sockeye salmon. Now, sockeye is one of the first types of Pacific salmon that I actually targeted when moving back to British Columbia. I only had my little 16-footer boat with a 75 horsepower, but we went out to Port Alberni and there was an excellent run out there the early summer back when we first moved up. I believe it was 2015. Since then, I've done a whole lot of salmon fishing and I've really expanded my gear and techniques, and I have a bigger boat now. So this is how you have to do sockeye. If you want to catch sockeye consistently, you really need to stack your gear and use 4 rods, and it really ups your chances of catching equal sockeye salmon like this one. Later, I'll show you exactly how I rig up and stack a downrigger, but for now, I hope you enjoy this little video, catching sockeye out with my family on the ocean, and this is out by the Fraser River on the Strait of Georgia when the fish are just schooling up before coming into the river. Big school down there. Really cool. Oh, there's clutch. It just seems to bite going that way. Don't bite at all going this way. Oh, it's a massive school. Mark that one. There's a massive schooner. I don't know, I might have fish on here, Mel. So it might be a net. I think there's a fish. Yeah, there's a fish on it. Just get ready, Mel. Make some. Plus it's right over there. Ready? Good job. That's a massive school. Just stay on it, catch everything. I just gotta get set back up. I'll put this line down, this side down. Just keep your eye on that school there. Turn us into that school there, okay? Where they're jumping on it. This right here, turn right. Oh man, there's flashing in there too. Don't fish 900 flasher, just be frustrated.
Yeah.
But they said if you don't, you'll only catch 10% as much as the guys who do. That's why nobody, you're out here using 2 rods. Where's that school? Do you see it splashing anywhere?
Over there.
Where? Oh yeah, over there. We got over there, Mel. That's what they're over there. They're all over there. Son. Yeah, there's one here. Melly, yeah. Are
You come grab this one. On this side. Oh, the other side, hurry fast, girl. Here. Here. Oh, that's cool.
Oh my god.
Yeah, well, it's a hatchy one. I think it's a hatchy. No, it's not. Oh, there's a whole bunch jumping back there. Behind that boat. Look at them jumping like crazy behind that boat. Yeah, he's going. There's a huge school behind him. I'm going right towards that. No, we're catching glass salmon like crazy.
When stacking downriggers, it's a little bit of a chore to get the rods on and off the rigger, but this is exactly how you do it. The bottom rod had just been popped off from a fish. You see it sitting there to my left. Now I reeled up the rod to my right, and it's going to be the top rod. So you actually have to pop the clip off the line, and I leave it on the rod, so it's just hanging there freestyle with the flasher out behind. Next, I reel up the downrigger to the point where I have my next stops on the line. There are these two red stops. That's what holds your downrigger clip in the right location. Then you grab your clip your line on to the desired length. I usually let them out 10 to 15 feet behind the downrigger, and then you put your rod in, get it set for the right tension to pay out, let your downrigger go down, and you watch for the next set of stops. You can see them come out on the line right there. They're sitting right there, those two red stops. You let it go below your ball puller, then you pull in your ball, bring up those stops right beside the boat, grab your rod that already has the clip on it, and then you grab that clip and you put it in between those two stops. You really do need one above and below that clip out here on the Strait of Georgia because the currents are crazy and they will actually pull those clips up and down your downrigger cable. Then once you have both clips on, let the ball puller back out and then slowly let those downrigger balls take all your gear down to the desired depth. Now, of course, you might get a bite on the other side, and that's what happened here. Then you can continue to lower your lines back down to the desired depth. Usually when you're sockeye fishing, I target anywhere from about 30 feet down all the way down to about 120 feet down. You really have to watch the schools on your fish finder and see exactly where those big masses of sockeye are. Now they can be scattered throughout the water column, but quite often you're targeting these really heavily packed schools, and you'll see exactly what I mean later in this video where I show the underwater footage of one of these balls of sockeye. It's unbelievable. You won't believe it unless you see it.
We're over here. Just lift up, let's stand over here. See that big school? That's a big school of sockeye. That big mark there. Huge school of sockeye. We're gonna snag them just trolling through it. Callie. Another one here. Oh shoot. Keep reeling, keep reeling. Okay, Callie's on the surface. Keep reeling real fast. Real fast. Keep that one. Let's get it off. If you real fast, when you're done, close it off, rock backwards. Stop it. Yeah.
I can't walk back anymore!
No, I got it. You can get the fish out, just walk it up. Sockeye 2022. We got a really short opening, but they're here. Yeah. He's back up there. Let's go around. Get back down.
Oh, Dad?
What? Another one? Yeah, we got another one. Here, Callie, you want him?
Oh, Dad.
Good eye, good eye. Don't have to pull too hard, Callie. I'll back up the motor. Reel it up. We gotta walk backwards, Kelly. Yeah. That's a nice silver one.
Oh my. That's why I go on.
The Dr. Sockeye Killer's back. Waited 4 years. And we got a beautiful day. Everyone in the morning said they weren't biting. I use a ton of flashers.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can see our mark. So that's our
Hello.
right there. You can see our, that's the mark. No bites that time? Way too deep? Oh, we're good. Sometimes they chase and then they bite. Oh, we got one here.
Ask Dad to say.
There, Kelly. There. And there was a bite on the other rod there too. Yeah. Still there. Yeah, there was a hit like on that one, then on this one. Yeah, he's there.
Oh!
Yeah, that's good, it's good. Yeah, just keep cranking, don't let him loose. Okay, which way are we going? To that side or going that side? Yeah, you walk that way. I'll turn the boat a little bit. And we'll get a bit of this. Yeah, and then walk back. Yeah, walk back. Keep feeling good. Oh, keep coming. Yeah, we got it.
Ouch! On my side. Sierra, what do you think?
Right in front of us, kind of. See any jumping? Cal, you gotta go watch and do the. You gotta tell us which way to go. They're pretty dark already. Oh, we got another one. Oh, yeah. What? Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, look at them. See that?
There.
Right behind it. Oh,
There's my foot. Okay, they're all around here. We're just gonna try to head through some. See where are they jumping? See any jumping? Where? Yeah? Oh, we got one. Yeah. Oh man, they can't underneath it. There we go. Yeah. down feed. Woo. Good job, Sia. Keep reeling, keep reeling. Yeah, keep reeling. Keep cranking. Good job.
The flasher.
See the flashers are moving? Oh, it came off.
Oh.
Right here, look at them jumping right here, look. Right beside us, Abby. Oh, there's one jumping. Oh, look at them jump. They're calling us. Oh, there you go. Or they just released. Now I think I need a net. Yeah, that's okay. I'm not throwing them back. It's nicer, shinier one.
Yeah.
We got another one there on the other side. The other side. Get that one. Hurry, Mel. Maybe we'll grab this one. Here, grab this one. I'll release that one. Is that one still there? Oh no, she's there. Yeah, here it is. Here's God. There. Yours is still there. Callie? Oh no, it's gone. It was gone. I think it was gone when I handed it to you. But... oh, this one's caught in the other flasher. Okay, it's coming up now. Got to need a sockeye. The net down. Good job. I better really put them down. I don't know, it might be gone. It's still there, Mel. Still there, Mel. This side, this side, this side. Oh, here we go. Yeah. we still in that school? Yeah, it's huge. That's a big ship.
Yeah. It's a big ship girl.
Oh man, look at this! Look at this monster school of fish. Here, here. Get mine. What's reeling in? Me? You can reel in. Oh yeah, it's here. Yeah, fine. Go down. Go on. Keep going. Wow. That's a long shot. I'll just go straight for a bit here. They just caught two right here in front of us.
So let's take a little bit of time to spend underwater watching these sockeye salmon in their natural habitat below the water. And this is a GoPro camera that I have mounted to my downrigger cable with some PVC pipe that I arranged. And I just angled the camera up towards the flasher and Hootchie so that you can see it and watch the salmon bite if I'm going about the right speed. So the key is for sockeye, they usually like the flasher going pretty slow. So you'll see when we're going against the current, this flasher speed really picks up and we leave the fish in the dust. They'll follow, but eventually they lose interest and they just take off. So you'll want a slow to medium speed for sockeye salmon, nothing going too crazy or too fast. They will follow, but they are very unlikely to bite. Now, in comparison to other salmon like Coho salmon and Chinook salmon, they'll actually bite when it's moving that fast. And they don't have a problem chasing down a fast-moving presentation that's really aggressive. Sometimes it gets their attention. Meanwhile, sockeye, the fast-moving flasher, will get their attention, but as you can see, it just leaves the fish in the dust. Now here, this is exactly what you're looking for when you're out sockeye salmon fishing in the Strait of Georgia. They school in these massive balls of salmon. It just looks completely black, as you can see to the left side of the screen. And those are the areas you're trying to target, just circling those big schools and trying to get some active fish on the outside of the school to bite. Now, depending on the time of day, now if you look at this one, I think this is actually a coho. They swim a little bit faster, more erratic, and are more likely to bite a fast moving Hootchie. So you can usually tell when you got a coho following because they're a little bit faster moving than the sockeye salmon, which are a little bit more docile. They even bite more docile. So the sockeye salmon, what you're trying to target is these balls of sockeye that just really stack up the concentrations. They're easy to find by watching those jumpers. And then once you find those jumpers, you'll actually see the ball of fish on your fish finder. Put your downrigger to the depth they're at, and then troll in those areas. And you usually have to just circle back through that area over and over. I always put down a waypoint on my fish finder. It kind of helps me just keep an idea of where that ball of sockeye is because they typically stay in a similar area. Now you will see the odd straggler fish just all alone come in and chase the flasher, but in general, sockeye really like to school up. So you're targeting those areas where there's a lot of fish. Now sometimes the fish just aren't biting, and that's really frustrating because you know the fish are there, you can see them splashing, you can find the ball, but you don't catch them. That's why getting out during the key peak bite times is really key for sockeye. One of the key times to bite is first thing in the morning. Usually first light, first few hours of light, you can catch your limit out there. Now they can bite all day, and sometimes the tide changes turn them on and off the bite. While there may be fish there in the area, if you're not there during the specific times that they're biting, you might have a slow day. But if you're able to spend longer hours and actually cross a tide change, like you're fishing the rising tide to the peak and then you fish the drop a little bit, usually if you do one cycle like that, you will hit a period of time when the fish are just biting like crazy. Now, in these videos, you'll see a lot of followers. It's usually because I get the camera set up finally when the bite slows down. Then I pop the camera out and put it down there and see what's going on. But it's always interesting to watch the footage later and see exactly what's happening. I actually think this is a coho that bites. Look, he bit and he's hooked up and then he comes off. It shows how many bites you must get, and you don't even see them on the rod because they hit and they're off so fast. Really, there isn't much there to set the hook, right? They physically have to puncture themselves with that hook themselves just by pulling on the line. And that's why having the clip in the downrigger at least hard enough that they can get a good hook set is a good idea. If you set it too light and it just pops off, you'll lose a lot of the fish. So set it pretty deep, let them get a good tug on that downrigger cord so that they get the hook set before they pop up. Here is just an absolute monster school. When I first saw this, I couldn't actually believe that there are that many fish down there that they can block out the sunlight coming down. Like to the left here, this is just the scattered part of the school. Wait till you see in a few seconds when I get into the dense part of the school. It is so solid. That block of fish is just like a solid mass of fish. And this is how those salmon fishermen commercially catch them, is they round up these big balls of sockeye with a net and pull it all together from the bottom, and they catch thousands of Chinook in one pull, like 20, 30,000 Chinook possibly in a pull, because it's just so many fish like this, and we're not even to the densest part of the ball, which I think is coming. You'll see it. It just gets more and more solid here and more dark. The darkness is created by the fish bodies in the water because they are seriously blocking out the light. Okay, just watch here for a few minutes. It's pretty impressive to see all these sockeye salmon down there swimming around and just preparing to head up the river. And when you see a ball like this and the fish are actually biting, every time you pass through this ball, you'll get multiple hookups. 2, 3, 4 rods will go off. But as you see right now, I'm not sure where my flasher is at. Maybe we're dealing with fish that had already bit and the flasher's off the downrigger. But yeah, oh no, I see my Hootchie right there, and some of the fish actually see it too. You see one following there, even though it's moving really slowly. I'm probably dealing with fish and rods on the other side, but you'll see a few fish all of a sudden follow that Hootchie right there up at the top. They take a look quick and then they take off. It's going a little bit too slow for them, and they're just not that interested. This is why also I say using krill scent or some sockeye formulated scent on your Hootchie, because the fish do tend to follow that Hootchie a lot and really closely. So if anything, it helps just to have that little bit of scent on there. They might be more likely to attack it and grab it and hold on to it once they have it in their mouth because it tastes good. Okay, we're back to just trolling. I got my gear down again and flying through some schools quickly. It's just amazing to see all the fish down there following your gear. And I hope you really enjoyed this little sockeye fishing video showing you how to catch them, how to rig your downriggers, how to stack your downriggers. And if you put in the time when the fish are in the area and a fishery actually opens, which is every about 4 years, the years that it's been open that I've been able to fish were 2018, 2022, which was this year that we were fishing. Oh, look, a fish hooked up. And then the next one is 2026. So next summer, get ready, guys. I have never done this before, but I think people actually like seeing it schematically. So I'm going to draw out here on the whiteboard how I set up a sockeye gear. Okay, first of all, you have your downrigger cable, which comes down from the surface, goes down to about an 15 to 18 pound cannonball. Usually they'll have a ring on the back of the cannonball. I put my first flasher on the cannonball. I tie it directly there. Usually you need a swivel because these things spin like crazy. If you don't put a swivel, then what will happen is the line will usually snap because the flasher will just spin and spin and spin and eventually break that line off. I've had that happen to me, so don't let that happen to you. You can put a clip on here, and then you tie your first flasher back here like this, okay? Now you have no hook on this flasher. It's just an attracting flasher. So usually I use flashers that have broke or cracked, and you cut off the metal stuff at the back because it clanks around when there's no hook attached. So cut off that metal stuff, okay? Usually I have this one back only about, I would say 5 to 7 feet, okay? Now, you go up the line, you're gonna have to put line stops on. So you have to put a line stop below and above each of the flashers. So this distance right here is approximately 8 feet. So 8 feet from the ball, I put my next flasher. And you'll have to get these clips, the hook onto the flasher, hook the flasher onto the line. So then about 5 to 7 feet again, you have your next flasher. And this one doesn't have, so no hook on this one, no hook on this one, okay? These are just attracting flashers. 5 to 7 feet again, you have your next one. Then you go up the line, put your 2 stops. Another clip, this is your first actual line, okay? So now I have my line coming off my rod all the way down here, and I have the clip that goes back, this is schematically of course, to the flasher. And then I got a little Hootchie here, okay? The Hootchie. And that's where the hook is, okay? That's the business end. This one, I usually put about 10 feet up from the bottom one because I don't want it getting tangled with everything. And this one, usually I put about 8 to 15 feet back, okay? So that they don't all get tangled with each other. Remember that this flasher now has a line that goes back up to the ball like that, okay? Then you stack your second rod with 2 more stops on the line, the clip, and it goes back to your next flasher and your next Hootchie, okay? With the hook. This one, usually I put this top one a little bit shorter than the bottom one. So usually the bottom one, I'll set it out a little bit further, a few feet further than the top one. Sometimes I think it, helps me to not get tangled as much. Because what happens is if a fish grabs this one, the line pops up. Sometimes when it comes up, it gets tangled in this flasher right above it. So I don't know. You tell me if you like having the bottom one shorter or longer. I think I used to leave the bottom one a little bit longer, and I used to think that it got tangled up less often. Plus the bottom one at the top rod, you put it out to the side of your boat, and this one I put, straight up the middle. Like that, so that they're pulling down like this. So when this one gets a bite, hopefully it pulls this one out away from the top one so that it won't get tangled. That's what you do to try to minimize the risk, but as you see in this video, it does happen. So that is how I stack each side with the cannonball, 2 dummy flashers. These are called dummy flashers. If you hear guys talk about dummy flashers, this is exactly what they're talking about. A flasher on the line with no hook, and sometimes even guys will fish for Chinook like this. They'll put a dummy flasher on the ball, and right above it they'll clip a lure like a spoon or a Hootchie. Not a Hootchie. Hootchie has no action. A spoon, a plug, roll an anchovy without the flasher, so then they have nothing in line. This is the idea of dummy flashers, and in sockeye fishing you just use a whole lot more flashers. Some guys use even more than this, but I find 4 flashers on each side is usually plenty enough for me to catch fish and get in on the action. So I hope this shows you a little bit of a better idea of how I actually stack those riggers, and this one has a line going up as well. So your 2 rods on top, dummy flashers on the bottom. You don't put dummy flashers above the other stuff. It's just gonna make you get tangled, okay? The real business rods go on the top, the dummies on the bottom.